So I tried to surprise Zach. The plan was to meet up at our spot at 4 o'clock.
Height-wise, it doesn't feel bad at all. It feels like I'm riding mad.
Yeah.
So I basically forgot my phone and sat there for like 45 minutes, and he stood me up. So I went over to his house and showed him the bike and let him ride it here. We're riding back over to the spot. So I'm on his bike. Right here, I'm like giving it everything I can, and he's just like putting right away from me, which is absolutely to be expected. But so far, outside of the the starter braking, I really like the bike. I know I've enjoyed it. I mean, I've ridden one before. My friend has one. He doesn't touch the dirt with it, but I already knew it was a good run bike, and this one, has power upgrades and everything, so it's pretty much exactly what I wanted.
This thing's a fucking animal.
Yeah.
But you know what I like about it? It pulls really hard,
yeah,
but it's really smooth.
Yeah.
Like when I rode really CRC, dude, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's carbureted or what, but it just the power felt so much different.
Right.
This power is just like,
well, it's in enduro mode right now, so it's sluggish.
Yeah, it's actually in trail mode. The original owner thought he had it in enduro mode, but when I looked at it, it's in trail mode. So I gotta try the enduro, see if it's better on stalling.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit much for me, but I hope I'll get used to it.
That's not a OEM kickstand, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
No shit, that's the type of kicks. I like that.
Yeah.
It's super light, it's aluminum.
Yeah, they did. I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, they added a lot of weight to this thing, but it's still, it's still light.
Lighter still.
Oh, compared to my rally,
you can just feel the weight difference between my bike to that.
Yep.
You can definitely feel it. 5 to 10 pounds is iffy unless you're slugging it around in the woods, but when you pick that up off the kickstand, you can feel the difference in the weight.
Guys that I got it from, he estimated it was probably about 20 pounds lighter than stock, because he said that, I mean, I got all the factory parts.
Well, dude, you figure this is every bit of at least 70 pounds lighter than your 250, than your,
oh, yeah.
your rally.
Yeah, I think it's close to 100.
Pounds. Probably pushing 100.
Yeah.
And that, dude, that's significant.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And you're probably, it's probably a good, I'm gonna say at least a good 30 pounds lighter than this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see what it does off road.
Fuck yeah, brother.
So yeah, Zach actually lost his kickstand today. He just texted me a little while ago. Apparently, while he was riding, it fell off. He had one of those adjustable kickstands. But as far as the weight is concerned, the bike's supposed to be 289, ready to ride. I haven't weighed it, so I have no idea what it is. Runs great at the weight it is. I barely felt like I even rode.
Alright, here we go.
So I wasn't wore out at all. I think my clutch hand was the only thing that, initially took a little bit of abuse just because the clutch is so heavy. But it seemed like I stalled a lot more than I did. I mean, obviously, I've already stalled a couple times, but it was like 20 times over the course of 2 hours. And it just continually got worse. Like after the 6th time it stalled, it started sounding funny. So, but like initially it sounded just like my buddies and just like everybody else's. But when it stalls, the engine kicks back, and that makes the one-way clutch turn the starter backwards, I do believe, if I'm thinking about it the right way. And because it'll kick, you'll hear that loud slap sound, and then you'll hear like a I don't know, like something. I think it's the electric starter motor turning backwards.
Oh, branches are hanging down like crazy.
We had some storms around the past couple weeks, and there were some parts of the forest that all the trees were leaned over in the same direction. So, but fortunately, it's pretty dry. Spring came pretty late for us. I mean, it's been less than a month already, but it's drying out pretty good.
I'm taking it a little slow back there.
Yeah. Yep.
How's it feeling, dude?
I'm covering the clutch too much because it keeps stalling. It's annoying. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, so.
I'm sure that there's a simple fix for it though, dude.
It's already got the G2 throttle and the Vortex kit.
It's got to be something that you can...
Yeah, I might have it just have it a brush up tune on it.
Yeah.
Because it is annoying.
How's it feeling though, power-wise?
Oh, it's got tons of power.
You're barely touching the throttle. I can tell in some of the sections. You're just ghosting the trail, man.
Yep.
Ghosting the trail.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it's got the Tokyo Vortex ECU in it. The low, mid, and high settings are all at 555. I haven't really done any reading about it yet, but hopefully I can touch the tune up just slightly and make the stalling issue less of a thing, because I'm sure any of you that are watching this just for the 450L content have heard over and over and over about the flame out issues, whether it be from tension deficit or any number of other channels. It's not going to stop me from wanting to ride the bike. I mean, I've been riding the 250L for well over a year, dreaming about this bike. And I mean, I could have bought it last year, but it would have taken me broke. And I'd like to be a little bit smarter with my money. But like I said, I have no complaints. The suspension's a little stiff in the front right now. It's kind of set to kill. I need to adjust it a little bit. But like I said, this is my first ride. The night before, I buzzed through one of the trails, maybe 5 minutes, and then called my buddy Nick and just stopped by his house and let him take it for a spin. But unfortunately, I'm probably not going to get to ride this thing till July. With all the COVID-19 bull crap going on, shipping is not going to be easy. Unless maybe because it's a small package. I got everything from Rocky Mountain, and it was like 6 to 10 days on all the back order parts, basically out of stock parts that they don't have. So, and that included the starter and a couple of the gears. The gears were actually pretty expensive. The one was $126, the other one was like almost $50. And you got some collars and other things. Hoping I have all the gaskets. All I got was the 2 clutch cover gaskets, and I thought about it later, and I'm like, I wonder if there's water pump gaskets I'm gonna have to get. So I need to get back online and look and see, or go out in the garage and take a peek at the bike. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just gonna ride the rally. Buying this bike was actually kind of a good thing, because it allowed me to do a lot of maintenance to the rally that I haven't been putting off, but a lot of things have happened in the past 2 months, and with me being laid off and the whole COVID thing, I ended up blowing the front forks out, the fork seals on the rally, because the stanchions, the chrome parts of the shock, they were
that log right there is the one
they were pretty dirty, and when I hit them jumps a couple episodes back, pretty much got close to bottoming out the suspension, and basically got a bunch of trash up inside the fork seal. I don't know if I cut them or not, but I tried to clean them out and didn't seem to make much of a difference. So between that and my steering has always been pretty heavy in the bike. It's kind of odd. When I first bought that bike, I mean, it was basically brand new, but after about a week, and it wasn't even a week of riding it, just a week of owning it, I think I only rode it twice, the steering started getting notchy, and it was definitely odd. It was almost like the bearings were dry. I just wetted the stem with WD-40 just to test that theory, and it helped. So I'm like, it was kind of odd, but I ended up loosening the triple tree lock nuts just a couple degrees, and never had a problem with it again. But it's been sitting for about 2 weeks, and I rode the 450L and ended up taking the rally out yesterday and the day before. Steering's notchy again, so probably gonna order the tapered roller bearing set and go ahead and convert it. Considering all the wheelies I do and all the stupid shit, it'll be better on it and be easier because I've already got to take the forks out and put new seals on them. And probably gonna do the revalve kit and a little bit heavier weight. I don't want to make that thing too stiff in the front because it really rides nice for a heavy bike. But we'll get that together. Enough about the 250L. I mean, I'm sitting here riding the bike that I've been dreaming about, and I mean, it does great. These tires I really like. I was a little skeptical about that MT21 because it does not look very aggressive at all, and it didn't let slip once today. And that the D606, I got a couple buddies that ride with those, and they're pretty impressive. So I already knew what to expect from that, and even with 25 psi, I haven't put air in the tire since I bought the bike. And when I left the guy's house, we put 25 in there because I had 190 miles ride home. So they actually did great. I think there was only one spot down at the end where I got in some week old mud. It was like pizza crust on top. I kind of got slowed down and bogged down just for a second. But pretty sure I did not see any wheel locks on the 450L, which really disappoints me. But I imagine the Dirt Star wheels probably have the ribs on the side of the rim to grip the tire also. I need to look some stuff up about the bike. It still doesn't feel real that I got it, obviously, considering I can't ride it. It is what it is. Just gotta get over it and wait. But we're just riding this because we haven't ridden this trail in a while, and here in our area there's not very many places to ride, so we try and hang on to the ones we do have. One of our favorite places used to have a big open area that we can't ride anymore. They've done all that construction and stuff, and to be honest, I'd rather respect that than have the whole place closed down. I don't know if it's the owners or whatever, they had a community meeting around there, and basically the owners asked that people stay out of the open area, let the grass grow, and I can respect that. Back in the woods, they really don't care, and that's really what I like to do, obviously. If I want to go out in the open area and do something, I might as well just go out on the abandoned street and do it or whatever. I think I got most of my wheelies out of my system when I was a kid, at least the big ones. But my thing is, I really, I want to make sure that everything I replace inside the clutch cover prevents this from happening again. Whether it be a mechanical failure or if it was related to the tune and the way that it stalls, I don't know. I just know that when it stalls, it flames out and it kicks backward. And anybody that knows how that one-way clutch works for the starter, when the motor kicks back, because the clutch only spins one way, and if that thing turns backward, the only thing it can do is turn the starter motor backward.
Tire working out.
Yeah. Cool. He's got that Tusk D Sport tire. It's very similar to the D606. Works pretty good for him. I don't think I have done much riding on the trail. I think I rode it one time and did pretty good from what I remember. But yeah, here the starter's really starting to sound terrible. But from here on out, at least on this side of the trail system we're at, it sounds really bad. But I think the bike's actually getting a little loaded up. You notice it's cranking for a really long time. But like I said, I'm getting used to riding it, so I might be loading it up quite a bit. I actually found that the less I touch the clutch, the better. Covering the clutch actually seemed to make it worse. So I just kind of tried to forget about it and just rode the bike. But you know, some of the areas you can't help but, you know, cover the clutch and slip it here and there. But it's almost like you can't predict it. It just, you know, sometimes you can go through some really nasty, you know, physically challenging stuff and it doesn't care at all. And other times, you know, it's just idle, just like it is right now, and you know, bam, it stalls and likes to put you over the handlebars. So I imagine that's just a slightly, I would think it would be slightly lean to do that, but I mean, I don't know. I have to do some reading. I have all the instructions for the Vortex, so you know, maybe, I don't know if, I would imagine the low setting on the Vortex would be idle, you know, to a quarter throttle or something like that. So maybe just richen it up just a little bit, because this, you know, this stalling out, that's no good. Especially, I don't think it's stuck in a big ass mud hole. I mean, even though the bike, it is way lighter and so easy to push. Like my Rally, I could push this thing probably 3 or 4 times further than the Rally without having to stop, you know. And I'm an ex-smoker. I think I mentioned that before. I haven't smoked in about 1.5 years. And yes, I still miss it. But I feel a lot better, but I still got to get my cardio up. This bike, honestly, I barely got wore out or out of breath the entire day because it's so much lighter. You know, I have to work a lot less hard. Pretty much I just have to hang on to it, which at first seemed like it might be you know, a little challenging, but I've been riding, you know, 2-stroke 250s my entire life since I was like 9 years old, so it hanging on came right back to me, you know. Yeah, at this point, I'm starting to get a little bit worried about that starter and the way it was sounding, because it just, I mean, I'm a mechanic, and believe me, I knew something was wrong, but at the time I wasn't really going to let it ruin the day, you know. I mean, whether I would have stopped riding it immediately or, you know, let it break like I did, I'd still have to do all the same stuff. I mean, obviously, that starter gear was either misaligned or there was some play somewhere. I mean, I don't believe that even with the kickback, you know, that it was damaging the gear that much. You know, it shouldn't. I mean, the way that gear is designed, it's actually like a shark fin, each tooth. So, I mean, you can hear it. It's just, it's like, you know, the backlash on the gear mesh is totally off. But the starter looked like it was, you know, in there all the way, and it wasn't crooked. There's not much, you know, room to move anything, so that's why I bought all the bushings and collars inside. You know, I figured maybe I had a poorly machined bushing or something. I'll find out when I get it apart. Hopefully we get it all fixed up and ready to ride as soon as possible and make some good content.
Dude, the starter sounds terrible.
If you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.